Dan Douglas once lived in a small town. A simple town. A town where true conflict was rarely born. Although Dan's early life was spent in service to his community, he always had a secret passion in writing. His father and mayor, Daniel Douglas I, raised Dan to be an expert in practical modern professions.
Anyway, I got to the end of the tunnel, and it was just a normal...
What'd I do?
He was the town's facilitator, a perfect serviceman built in his father's image.
All right,
The town relied upon him and in turn lost its ability to self-sustain. When Dan began writing, he told stories of his times in the town, but this unsettled him after realizing this was all he had ever experienced. Dan only shared his works with his close friend, Margaret Dilbin, local nurse.
I think it's great.
You're never honest. I'll see you tomorrow.
Margaret loved Dan, but Dan could never love her. Dan's dissatisfaction started becoming apparent in his working life.
I wouldn't be as attracted to a dog. I don't really know where I'm going with this at all.
Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah.
When his father passed, Dan broke free from the shackles of the town.
Dan, do you really have to go now?
Yes.
Then I think you should have this.
No. I got everything I need. Here. Town's yours now.
He felt it was time to discover what was missing in his life. He became a drifter, traveling from town to town but never losing that feeling of dissatisfaction. He met similar travelers, disparaged drifters in search of meaning, and exchanged tales with them. They would help each other, but Dan never stayed anywhere for too long. He was still searching. Until he found Marie.
Hey.
Dan greeted this girl as he had any other on his journey. He shared his story and asked her of hers, so she led him off to her home.
Hey everyone, this is Dan. I found him on the side of the road.
Hey.
A home for defamed artists.
Hey, you have to use lighter lines with shading.
He viewed Marie as a companion. It was a mutual learning. She taught him how to love, and he taught her things he had learned from the world. It was through this love that Dan Douglas found his heart and his passion. But one day, fate came knocking on his door.
Dan, the town!
Jeremiah Bell, a trusted friend from the town he had all but forgotten, traveled far and wide to seek Dan's help. Margaret, sick with power and jealousy upon hearing of Marie's existence, had callously thrown the town into bedlam, forcing townsfolk into slave labor and all but abolishing the laws. Jeremiah knew that Dan was the only one who could stop him.
I'm the only one who can stop her.
There's no one else.
No,
Well, then I'm coming with you.
too dangerous.
Like hell it is.
So they traveled to the fractured town in hopes to free it from its cold oppressor.
Wait here. I have to do this alone. Margaret,
Dan!
I've finally written my epic, and I've returned so you can read it.
She naively agrees to this after having read countless lackluster tales of him before his journey. Overcome with remorse after experiencing the sheer brilliance of his prose,
I love it.
Margaret quickly resigned as mayor and left the town forever. Its citizens rejoiced at the cunning of Dan Douglas. Thus, he became a savior, a champion of the people, but as quickly as he came, he left, never to be heard from again. Some say he died fighting injustice. Some say he was swept up by a tornado. but everyone who experienced his triumph agrees. Van Douglas was a hero.